Hello everyone. Without wasting much of the time, welcome to the second part of Economic Survey Lecture 7, in which we are going to discuss the conclusion basically of our economic survey. Now physical and digital infrastructure को हमें डिस्कस करना है. फिजिकल और डिजिटल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हमारे सोशो इकोनॉमिक इन्हांसमेंट में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करते हैं. गवर्नमेंट कहती है ये सोशल ओवरहेड कैपिटल है जिससे कि रिमोटेस्ट एरिया में भी डेवलपमेंट पुश किया जा सकता है और हमारी कंट्री को डेडिकेटेड बजटरी एलोकेशन से क्रॉस सब्सिडीज देके रेवेन्यू जनरेट करके इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर और प्रोग्राम डिलीवरी में मदद होती है. दिस हैज हेल्प्ड इन एक्सपैंडिंग फिजिकल ट्रांसपोर्टेशन एंड कनेक्टिविटी, प्रोवाइडिंग सर्विसेज एट पॉइंट ऑफ यूज एंड डीपनिंग डिजिटल पेनिट्रेशन. Now this is a good introduction. It's a very beautifully crafted introduction straight from the economic survey. But with regards to the physical infrastructure, it is stated that it has a multiplier effect. What is multiplier effect? Infrastructure ज़्यादा होता है तो सिर्फ इन्वेस्टमेंट ही नहीं होता, वो अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ भी क्रिएट करता है और उससे इकोनॉमी को जो फ़ायदा होता है वो बहुत ज़्यादा होता है. In 2019, government has adopted a forward-looking approach towards infrastructure by starting off National Infrastructure Pipeline. Now in this pipeline, government has a projected investment of 111 lakh crores for a 5-year period, so that infrastructure development in a country can be fast tracked and the timely completion of products can be ensured at even the higher levels. And this will enable the confidence in the Indian businesses, and investors will come to plan for further infrastructure investments, right? So the funding from infrastructure, we need to understand, comes from variety of sources, from government to private sector to multilateral institutions also, like Asian Development Bank, New Development Bank. But given the amount of funding involved, it is important that we try to generate other sources of income for the government also. Government cannot only rely on the taxes. So with regards to the generating more income for the government had started this 5 lakh crore national monetization pipeline. Now what is this national monetization pipeline? So government is trying to increase its financial resources, that's true. But we also want to increase the participation by private players. Why? There are two types of infrastructure. See, greenfield infrastructure, where everything has to be created from scratch, from buying of land to creating a building, everything has to be done from scratch. And this is the part of national infrastructure pipeline. But there are other types of infrastructure also, which are called as brownfield infrastructure. Now what a brownfield infrastructure? Infrastructure that is already created, is old, is obsolete, but is not being used. For example, there is some old factory that was run by Indian government, but is shut off. There is some old airport which requires maintenance, is not being used. What we are going to do, already created infrastructure को प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स को हम डेवलप करने के लिए दे सकते हैं, चलाने के लिए दे सकते हैं और कहते हैं कि यार ये ज़मीन है, ये फैक्ट्री है, तुम ले लो, हमको रेंट दे देना और तुमको जो करना है करो. Now that is monetization plan. बने बनाए एसेट से पैसा क्रिएट करना, तो चीज़ें क्या करना, आपको रेंटल पे देना. प्राइवेट पार्टिसिपेशन इन running risk-free brownfield assets will also help in ushering operational efficiencies and better management of public assets, right? The program approach to infrastructure is complemented by structural and financial reforms such as infrastructure financing options of InvITs and REITs, creation of dedicated financing institutions like NABFID, recapitalization of DFIs, push to PPP ecosystem. From पीपीपी इकोसिस्टम बढ़ाना है, सोशल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जो है वो हमारा प्रमोट हो जाएगा. पीएम गति शक्ति इज ऑल्सो वर्क इन दैट डायरेक्शन, वेयर वी आर ट्राइंग टू क्रिएट अ मैकेनिज्म जहां पे सारी मिनिस्ट्रीज एक साथ एक टेबल पे बैठ के प्रोजेक्ट डिजाइन करें. वी हैव ऑल्सो स्टार्टेड आवर न्यू नेशनल लॉजिस्टिक पॉलिसी विच वॉज लॉन्च्ड इन सितंबर 2022. रोड्स, रेलवेज, वाटरवेज में अनप्रेसिडेंटेड एक्सपेंशन आ रहा है पिछले 8 सालों में. पोर्ट्स एंड एयरपोर्ट्स को भी अपग्रेड किया जा रहा है. अल्टीमेटली व्हाट इज दिस शेपिंग इंडिया इनटू? फ्रॉम अ यूनिमोडल ट्रांसपोर्ट डिपेंडेंट कंट्री टू अ मल्टीमोडल ट्रांसपोर्टेशन बेस्ड in Asia and the world, where private sector is also given an opportunity to invest and reinvest in these assets and make some profits, right? And asset monetization. So this is the introduction of the physical infrastructure landscape and conditions prevalent right now, right? Now moving further ahead, we need to understand what is the India's reflection on the digital status. This particular part 2 of economic lecture 7 is going to be very short, because ultimately we need to understand that what all we have done towards creating physical and digital infrastructure, right? So let's look at the digital side. Now if we talk about this insight is very important. Just look at this. In 2009, only 17% adults had a bank account. 15% only used digital payments, net banking. Out of 25, only one had a unique ID document, which means passports could be there. Then we have PAN card, it could be there. Only 37% had mobile phones. I'm talking about 2009. Just imagine the scenario of 2019. From 2019 and 2022, in these 3 years also, we have seen humongous amount of growth. This has been possible because of Digital India initiative, affordable mobile phones and affordable internet. To an extent, it has been also ushered by private player, that is Jio. So the telephone density has reached up to 93%. Over a billion people already have their Aadhaar cards. They have an ID document. More than 80% have bank accounts, obviously ushered by Jan Dhan Yojana. And 600 crore digital payment transactions are completed per month. This is significant increase on the status, on the side of India's digital status. बैंक फॉर इंटरनेशनल सेटलमेंट्स ये कहती थी कि फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन भारत को कराने में 50 साल लग जाएंगे, लेकिन यही भारत ने 10 साल में करके दिखाया है. सो यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड हाउ डिजिटल इंक्लूजन, डिजिटल लिटरेसी, द डिजिटल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर क्रिएटेड बाय द गवर्नमेंट हैज ushered a stabilized economy. This digital infrastructure also helped us to mitigate the health shocks during pandemic. Using COVID portal, using Arogya Setu, we were able to mitigate the negative sides, negative impacts of COVID-19. We were also able to promote vaccination and keep a check as to the vaccinated population. Now, very important, we cannot ignore it. Physical infrastructure gives greater returns, but digital infrastructure is more inclusive in nature. Think about it. Everybody does not use metro. Everybody may not travel on use aeroplanes. Everybody may not be an exporter. So it might help few section, business section, which generates a large corpus of money in comparison to what a commoner can do. But then a common man is also a strong small unit. जैसे चेस के गेम में प्यादे होते हैं, वैसे ही आम आदमी है. आप हो सकता है कि वजीर, रूख, हाथी ज्यादा लेवरेज देता हो, इंडस्ट्री का होना ज्यादा जरूरी है, मानते हैं, लेकिन वो प्यादा भी तो इंपॉर्टेंट है. वो प्यादा आपकी फर्स्ट लाइन ऑफ डिफेंस होता है. तो वही आम आदमी भी है. एक आम आदमी एक छोटे से सेल की तरह है जो कि जनरेट कर सकता है पोटेंशियल. उसके इस पोटेंशियल को रिकॉग्नाइज करता है डिजिटल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, राइट? सो व्हाट इंडिया वाज एबल टू डू टुडे, इंडिया इज एबल टू ऑफर मेनी बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस विद रिस्पेक्ट टू डिजिटल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इनोवेशंस. सक्सेसफुल वैक्सीनेशन ड्राइव थ्रू कोविन पोर्टल, apps like Digital Locker. There is also growing competition, open network for digital commerce. It's just like government owned Amazon. Open credit enablement network, goods and services tax. These are some of the stories for digital inclusion. The UPI, operated by National Payment Corporation of India Limited, NPCIL, is another such innovation that has transformed this landscape. UPI based transactions have growth both in terms of value and volume. Now it is now step ahead for international adoption. Brazil trying to capitalize on the digital infrastructure support, India has emerged as one of the most vibrant destinations for startup ecosystems. Startups are the spine of New India. They encourage youth to become job creators rather than job seekers. With regards to fintech adoption, 87%, highest in the world. Our new businesses are also trying to include financial technologies into their systems. The global average is 64%. India is at 87%. India has secured third place with respect to digital payments. These all reflect the promising digital infrastructure landscape in India. This has been ushered by public-private partnership. Now, public-private partnership is a vital tool, is a vital way that can channelize the strength of private sectors in areas of infrastructure, whether physical or digital. It also addresses infrastructure gap and improves the infrastructure services delivery. For this purpose, there is a committee called as PPPAC, Public-Private Partnership Appraisal Committee. It is a highest body with the government that usually approves the projects, eliminates the delays, and international practices are adopted so that certain infrastructure can be created in a short amount of time. This is chaired by the secretary under Department of Economic Affairs, with secretaries of expenditure, legal affairs, and Niti Aayog members also, right? The Public-Private Partnership Appraisal Committee has cleared 79 projects so far, with a project cost of more than 2,27,268 crores in a very short period of 8 years. With regards to developments in the physical infrastructure, with regards to development in the digital infrastructure, we are going to do all of that together, and then we are going to summarize this particular chapter. All right. So kindly stay with me for another 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, I am going to tell you each and everything. With respect to road transport, it's an uptick, right? Diverse population of consumers and businesses are now connected. 10,457 kilometers of national highway roads were constructed in 2022 as compared to 6,061 kilometers in 2016. With respect to railways, it is called as India's lifeline because it has a huge role to play in national integration and regional development. It is the fourth largest network in the world under single management. With respect to civil aviation, right, the Ude Desh Ka Aam Nagrik has ensured that connectivity between tier 2, tier 3 cities is also via air route, and there are also unserved and underserved airports which can be refurbished, and therefore 21 new airports are also being constructed. So air travel is becoming more affordable, and air travel is also helping in regional connectivity. With respect to ports, international trade is largely done through ports. Around 90% of an international trade, cargo by volume, is generated via ports. Sagarmala is one such effort in that direction. Inland water transport is a unique concept, recently seen growth momentum. The total navigable length of waterways is around 14,850 kilometers, in which 108.8 million tons have been transported, which is 30.1% growth in comparison to previous year. If we talk about national waterways, there is a National Waterway Act 2016, under which 106 new waterways have been declared as national waterways. We have somewhere around 111 national waterways. Most of them are in the Ganges River. If we talk about Inland Vessels Act, it will replace the Act of 1917. It tries to bring uniformity in application of law relating to inland waterways and navigation within the country. With respect to electricity, the installed power capacity has also gone up by 4.7%. With respect to renewable energy resources, for the period of 2 years, maximum rise in electricity generation was recorded in renewable energy resources. Some examples are Kusum, solar power scheme, hydropower purchase obligation, प्रधानमंत्री किसान ऊर्जा सुरक्षा एवं उत्थान महाअभियान. With respect to telecommunications, you have already seen that tele density is increasing. It has been highest for Delhi, with second highest for, here you will find, with second highest for Mumbai, right? November 2022, 117 people have a telephone access. 97% of these total subscribers have internet connections. 83.7 crore have internet connections. Total tele-density is almost 85%, right? It ranges from 55% in Bihar to 270% in Delhi. 5G rollout, Indian Telegraph Right-of-Way Amendment Rules 2022 will facilitate faster and easier deployment of telegraph infrastructure to enable 5G rollout. With respect to financial inclusion, Unified Payments Interface has given this system where multiple bank accounts can be knit together under a single mobile app. Several banking features can be integrated and fund routing can be done seamlessly. Merchant payments into one hood. It also ensures peer-to-peer collection request, which can be scheduled and paid as per requirement and convenience. This was introduced in 2016. It has revolutionized the payment landscape through universal operability. Single payment address. Low-cost mobile-first payment system. UPI has acted as a positive disruption towards enabling greater digital payments. UPI is a single mobile application for accessing different bank accounts. In 2019, UPI accounted for 17% of country's total 3100 crore digital transactions. UPI accounted for 52% of total 8,840 crore financial digital transactions in 2022. Look at the humongous growth in just 3 years. So you will find this is exponential rise that we are seeing. With regards to national logistics policy, India is trying to increase its exports, right? The logistics cost in India have been somewhere around 14 to 18% of GDP. With respect to global benchmark, it is only 8%. Now what have we done to improve the logistics? We're trying to fast track the clearance process. Speed, simplicity, predictability. Border control agencies are being well equipped, including customs. We're trying to improve the quality of trade and transport related infrastructure, ports, roads, railways, information technology. We're also trying to arrange competitively priced shipments, right? We're also enhancing competence and quality of logistics services. We are also providing for tracking and tracing of consignments and ensuring timeliness of shipments. These aspects have been covered under Logistic Performance Index by World Bank. MCQ के लिए important Logistic Performance Index by World Bank. To the efforts that we have taken, we have already discussed Udan, Bharatmala, Sagarmala, Parvatmala, National Rail Plan, E-Sanchit, SWIFT, that is Single Window Interface for Trade, ICE Gate, Indian Customs, Electronic Data Interchange Gateway, Turant Customs and all that. So the target of National Logistics Policy is to reduce the cost of logistics comparable to global benchmarks by 2030. We also have to increase the Logistic Performance Index to be among top 25 countries of the world by 2030. We also need to ensure that data-driven decision support mechanisms are there for efficient logistics systems. This is all being done through Comprehensive Logistic Action Plan, CLAP. So these are the targets of CLAP, right? There is also a new index, Leads India Index, which was announced in 2018, where states are compared to gauge their logistic ecosystem. It is based on the World Bank of Logistic Performance Index. Now the state LPI is arriving using ranking methodology for stakeholder engagement on different things, key areas. And you will find in Uttar Pradesh is in achiever category. Kerala is a fast mover, rapidly changing, and Goa, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, and these are having less amount of infrastructure. With regards to topmost states, you will find Uttarakhand, Tamil Nadu, and Uttar Pradesh to be there. So these are the top GDP generators for India also, right? Gujarat would be there, Odisha would be there, Tamil Nadu would be there. Right? There are other measures also. Introduction of GST, faceless e-assessment scheme for income tax, improved governance, formalization of the economy. Account aggregator, where financial information about each and every individual with consent can be used. Stand Up India scheme was completed in 2021. It has generated somewhere around 84,000 recognized startups. India is also trying to improve in drone industry. Under Mission Drone Shakti, the drone startups and drone as a service DRAS are being promoted. Right? Almost 90% of the airspace has now been opened up as green zone for flying drones up to 400 feet. Conclusion. Today we are operating in a new normal where a global economy is still recovering, has faced a setback due to pandemic, and the geopolitical conflicts continue. In this, India can effectively steer through this situation owing to its dedicated support to infrastructure creation by heavy capital expenditure and strong macroeconomic fundamentals. The economic growth where private sector is playing an important role, is investing, can also face a lot of shock due to balance sheet problems and uncertain demand outlook due to global shocks. But this can be mitigated by enhancing digital landscape developments and corresponding legislations and frameworks. With respect to digital journey, Aadhaar as a medium for service delivery has played a tremendous role under DBT, ensuring that the Antyodaya, last of the last, is also uplifted. The digital payment has been assured by use of UPI. Other apps like Cowin, eRupee, Trades, account aggregators, ONDCs are also on the stages of development, and India will have a cogent story to tell to the world. With this, I, Harshvardhan Tripathi, would like to sign off from the second part of this lecture, and I hope you do well in your upcoming examination. Till then, Namaste. Allow me to end this and do well.